Alright, y'all. Taurus, I think y'all gonna be my last one for the day. I gotta get it done. I gotta get it done. I gotta get it done. I gotta get up there. I said I'm gonna get up there. Alright, Taurus, we're gonna pull y'all 6 cards for the Moonology. See what the hell is going on. I'm gonna upload these all to YouTube. Hopefully they got a damn another camera showing in this bitch. Or whatever the case may be. Because I be needing my views of the two. I do. I need one of y'all to shout me out or something. Shout me out. Like, subscribe or some shit. I don't know. Do something. I ever had the views go up. Like, what do I gotta do? What do I gotta do? What do I gotta do? Alright, y'all. Keep focus. Alright. We'll get y'all 6 cards for the Moonology. On the bottom of the deck, we got Meditate and Contemplate. I gotta turn this sideways. Okay. Don't let your pride get in the way. It will come out 4 stars. In this Leo season. Okay. You are very close to achieving your goal. Okay. Let's put that to the side. Bang, bang. Let's put that to the side. Hey. Let's shit on this desk. I'm gonna do. Alright. 6 months. Adjustments are required. I like that though. Third quarter moon. Be bold and make the first move. A cardinal sign necessarily. I like that. Okay, what this is? Nothing will come. Who had this? Nothing will come of the situation, and a new start is coming. Yeah, we're gonna read that down. And nothing will come of the situation, and take time to breathe out. All right. We got y'all 6 card on the bottom of the deck. This shit tried to come out twice. A personal issue reaches a solution. And this is an Aries. If you want to read that, go. When I upload on the 22nd, necessarily you see it uploaded. Just scoop that motherfucker. Just slide all the way to the last 40 some minutes, 44, whatever it is. Damn, I did that shit in the last read. Yeah, do that. Scroll to the 44 seconds and read that or whatever the case may be. I'm finna read this shit again. But a new start is coming necessarily though. So that's why I said we're gonna get you 3 cards on each, see necessarily what's coming. Break it down. Get us a couple clarified. Keep it moving. Let's see some cook. I'll put it back in the deck. I think I did. Okay. Whew. Wait a minute, y'all. Wait a minute. Did my TV cut the fuck out? I think it did. Alright. I'm ready for that. Hold on. Put my music on in here. Oh yeah, I bet y'all like, dang. Alright, okay. I'm ready. We 3 minutes in. I ain't even got no word. Dang. Okay. Alright. We got 6 cards out. My son be on that goddamn game when I'm recording though. Is it me or like certain videos necessarily when it comes to them, their frequencies be low as fuck? Like, is it me and y'all got kids and y'all be watching they be watching certain shit and they have lower vibrational frequencies like a motherfucker? Y'all be trying to get readings out. Don't know, but that's just me though. It is. Energy exchanges and shit like that. I'll be liking it. Alright, okay. I'm gonna put 3 cards on each. Hey. Alright, we almost there. I gotta give me 2 more. 3 more. Oh, but I will say this while I've been shuffling, I've been telling each and every sign, I was like, be mindful of going into Virgo season and necessarily you don't be so focused on trying to get people to be the version of you that you want them to be necessarily. Earth, by transitioning into Earth, make sure that you're not staying stubborn into certain ways. Because you do got the King of Swords upright. So it's kind of like logically knowing what and what not to cut out in this season, though, making executive decisions, though. Like, what's on the bottom of the deck? And you got the knight though. You got Eight of Wands and the knight and the tower. You got the tower, Eight of Wands, tower, Eight of Wands. You got the Knight of Swords and the King of Swords. That's what I said. That's what I said. Don't be so focused. Moving into like Earth energy, moving into Earth energy that you end up being equally stubborn. Know what it is that needs to be communicated. Learning type matters, cutting it out, moving forward, and get the annoyances and all that shit out of the way. Like that's what it is. Don't be so fixated and rooted into the routine of who you are. First card out. We got Don't Let Your Pride Get in the Way, which is full moon in Leo. So y'all full moons is for releases, new moons is for bringing shit in. I'm gonna keep saying it till it sticks in your head. You got Five of Wands, Seven of Swords, and you got the King of Pentacles. Don't like this though. Because it said don't let your pride get in the way. Five of Wands, you hear me say, this is people necessary that take different chances of going through. Like you see, everybody's like trying to do something a different way when they could just say, hey, why don't we all just take the leap of just going here? Well, all directions is just leading them towards this loop. It's like, let's just do it this way. Like, don't make things more complicated than it is. Because you got Seven of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. You may be telling somebody else this, though. Seven of Swords, though, is in that energy of where you hear me say pride, sneaky, vindictiveness, maliciousness. Like, you got to learn. Don't be so caught up in that earth-like cards, like energy to where you want things to go your way necessarily that it end up like you cutting off your nose to spite your face. Okay, so make sure you ain't dealing with people who like sabotage, self-sabotage, put certain things in the way necessary to cause blockages for other people or for yourself. You got you're very close to achieving a goal. I like it. But you got the world, the moon, and the Hierophant. So something this could be the idea of marriage, commitment, style, coming out of a marriage, or just stepping into a commitment role, a teacher necessarily though. For some of y'all, this could be seeking higher ground, clarity, understanding though. But you got the moon though necessarily though. This is the space of blockages. My bad. This is blockages. My bad. My mind. Blockages necessarily though. I gotta put this music. Ooh. Okay, there we go. I said, where was I at? Yeah, I said you're very close to achieving your goal, but you got the world though. Don't be so caught up in it. Cause this is what's the world? Is the world that's fixed energy too, but it's reversed. That's Taurus, Leo. That's Taurus, Leo, Aquarius, and Scorpio. Don't be so caught up in the mind frame of figuring out how things should go, and then necessarily slows you down because you don't know how to see things from a better perspective. Don't be the one with the world stuck on your head. Necessarily see how you could gravitate towards the world. So that's why I said. And you also have the moon. Everything in the universe works at its perfect time, and even in the solar system. So that's why I said, just take time to learn. Necessarily, you're very close to achieving your goals. This is an inhumane. This is a I ain't gonna say inhumane, but it's in an indifference type of way. So necessarily, don't be worrying about necessarily if you're so accustomed to having a sense of control because fixed signs can deal with control issues too. Necessarily when it's how you want things to go. So that's why I say it's different. It's newness. You got adjustments are required. Didn't I just say that? You got a hermit, five of swords, and the two of swords. Bam. Adjustments are requirement. I think that's just plain and simple for necessarily for these cards is out here with the hermit, the five of swords, and the two. I think for some of y'all may recognize that going within, some of y'all may be cutting off your nose to spite your face. Like look at this five of swords. Like they're both there, but it's not getting nowhere. The five of wands and it's just don't be so focused in that grudge, stuck, stubborn type behavior necessarily to where you don't recognize that the actions around you are necessarily a mere reflection of you. So that's why I said this truth necessarily being able to make that decision though, because if you see the decision comes from the higher self, but they're both tethered. So that's why I said the mirroring aspect though. So adjustments are required if you want to get to a better space. Because Five of Swords is more about that feisty, self-sabotaging, I don't give a damn, necessarily I'm going to do what I want to do. And it ain't like for the betterment of everybody. So I don't know if you're trying to heal or fix because it didn't come out. Be bold and make the first move. You got Justice, Four of Cups, and the Nine of Swords. Bam. I like this though. If it's fair or certain things that you feel unfair, communicate them though, instead of just sitting in a space of resentment though, because the Nine of Swords, that's guilt, that's shame. If it's necessarily needing to say an apology or receive an apology or give one, make sure that necessarily while you sit around wanting somebody to give one to you, give one to somebody else necessarily. That's how you'll be in a position to necessarily receive yours. But being in a space where necessarily where you're wanting things to go a particular style that they don't necessarily, it's kind of like, hey, speak up, be bold, and make the first move. You got nothing will come in the situation. I told you that. You got Page of Swords, Six of Voices, and you got the Ace of Voices reversed. That's why I said, don't be in that fixated Tarian type energy where you just so focused on wanting things to go your way. Because the Six of Swords necessarily in this deck, I like how it's her hand and it's a miniature version of her where she's giving herself to go. For some of y'all need a prep talk to necessarily to learn how to let go of the past. Like some of y'all be thinking that if you do the apology, even if you do make the first move or a person give this to you, that necessarily it gives you room to grow. No, this is giving yourself room to be able to do the things that you necessarily want to do. Because the page also necessarily can study and learn. I told you tonight. Last card out, it's time to take a breathe. Take time to breathe out. Because you got Two of Cups reverse, Ace of Pentacles, and the Seven of Cups. Yes. Some of y'all, this could be with the aspects of leaving a relationship or a commitment or a partnership necessarily because you got the Ace of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. Some of y'all, this is just taking time to recognize that certain shit just didn't work the way you wanted to work, and it's okay. It's moving forward and being able to push beyond it. Some of y'all stay in the mind frame of, well, should have did this and should have did this and should have did this, and necessarily learning how to leave certain things in the past. Certain things necessarily didn't mean to flourish though. Just because you be bold and make the first move, even if you give an apology with a person or wanting a commitment style back, that don't mean it's gonna work because you have to necessarily apply the change that you want to be. You can't come in necessarily wanting someone to grovel, like you hear me say that earth energy where all earth signs y'all because you do something for somebody, that's the apology. No, it don't work like that. You gotta commit to it. You can be in a space of where you're emotionally vague and wanting somebody to necessarily shower you, love you, to be understanding, empathetic. No, you sweets, we gotta learn to give what we want to receive. So let's see what else comes out after the deck. Out of the deck, boom boom. Out of the deck, boom boom. What I do with that? What I do with that damn Six of Cups? Wait a minute, y'all, because I had it because he got weak. Let's see. Did I put it back in the deck? My family is probably did though. I think I did. Damn. I think I did. I know. I'm trying to get the stuff. Because I dropped them in the Aries reading. I did though. I think I put it in the moist. I will see what else comes out. I'm using Rider Waite the first day. That was the Muse Tarot that I was on. Okay. So, yeah. Oh, yeah. I put it back in the deck. That shit was hell. I'm trying to give me some music in my ear. I really am, though. Alright. Wait a minute. One more shuffle. One more shuffle. All these will be uploaded on the 22nd. I know y'all probably she keeps saying that we'll be watching this on the 22nd. Well, sweets, I did it on the 20th and the 19th and the 21st. That ass, I did. All right, all right, all right. Let's get them out. Come on now, don't start the shit. I'm about to say, y'all ain't saying nothing. Woo! You got the Empress and the Eight of Cups. Some of y'all, this could be about a commitment or a relationship style. Some of y'all had to walk away necessarily or choosing to walk away. Some of y'all having doubts about something leaving. I will say that though. I like the Eight of Cups because that's an emotionally honesty, that's integral, that's knowing, that's an emotional knowing that certain things. It's like an emotional knowing. Two of Wands. That's why I said that's an emotional knowing. Some of y'all having doubts necessarily though. It's me like a trust thing though. Because you got adjustments are required. You got Emperor though. Taurus do that. I said y'all do give Taurus is in the energy of we got King of Wands reverse. Taurus do that. I said, well, now Earth signs do that. I said y'all give great advice, but y'all never take y'all own dead ass. And sometimes it's unwarranted, like a motherfucker. They can come off like pessimistic. Sorry. I ain't saying all y'all, because there's some beautiful Tauruses out here that do be giving dope ass advice and interviews necessarily, and don't be trying to forceful. Be forceful. King of Wands is very forceful. I showed y'all, we're gonna clarify it. But a lot of signs, earth signs, haven't mastered that necessarily though, and that causes a lot of problems in relationships and commitments. Nine of Swords, Two of Pentacles, and a Knight. I'm trying to get them all out, and I'm gonna break it down for y'all. Trying to get my whole thing out. Six of Pentacles, the Magician, and the Judgment. Queen of Swords, and the Justice. All right. Bottom of the deck, you got Nine of Pentacles. Okay. For some of y'all, like you hear me say with this Empress and this Eight of Cups, some of y'all are trying to make a decision. Some of y'all having doubts about a situation, like emotionally walking away from something, or making an executive decision, or in a person necessarily, because you got the King of Wands, you have the Emperor with the King of Wands, though necessarily though. I think some of y'all having problems with relinquishing a sense of control though. Could be with a kid necessarily, or a child, or commitment type issues necessarily though. Because we did get the hair fun, you got Page of Pentacles. Some of y'all necessarily could be having y'all got doubts about being able to let go. Y'all really do. Y'all really do. Y'all got doubts about something. You got Nine of Swords, Two of Pentacles, and the Knight. That's why I said it's kind of like this doubt necessarily, but at the same time, some of y'all got problems with relinquishing a sense of control, though, necessarily, or wanting things to go your way. I see that, though, like, necessarily from a hyperleap or negative type space and that what's called type energy. Because you hear me say, earth signs know how to give great advice, but necessarily they don't take it. And then sometimes when they're ungrounded, they could go into a space of being the emperor, trying to take control necessarily, or needing to have a takeover type spirit. So where it can be pessimistic and it can block certain things and people lessons that they need to learn with the moon. So the same way that a person may be telling you, you creating the hurt people dynamic with the Five of Swords, with the Six of Pentacles and the Magicians. So it's kind of like tricksterous concoction. Like for me, when I see the Magician, I used to say dress it up and make it look good. For me, when it's reversed, it means that it no longer looks good anymore or appealing. So there could be behaviors because you got a lot of ones. It's all about actions because you got Judgment with the Queen of Swords, so necessarily, and you got the Justice though. So this could be with a person, a relationship, a commitment necessarily. Don't know. Or could be the idea of you learning what is fair and what is not fair. Because it gives me like a resurrecting type thing. Because it's kind of like some of y'all don't know how to let go of the past. And like that'll isolate somebody real quick when somebody has to be very defensive about who they are or what they did in the past. So necessarily though. Because Eight of Cups is all about integrity, understanding, and being able to move forward. Queen of Swords being reversed. It's kind of like she don't care necessarily what she say. It's two people, like they don't care necessarily. So it could be a he or she. You can go for whoever in this moment, like they don't care what they say, even if it's right or wrong, or being emotionally biased. Because the judgment reverse, I mean the justice reverse is bias. Judgment is resurrecting. It could be gossip or necessary communicating or hearing. All right, let's go. Damn, my shit, my earplug about to die. Where's my case? I don't know. You got Nine of Pentacles though. That's you. Sending your own energy. Three of Cups. Three of Swords and the Hangman. Damn. Who had this though? Like all the Cardinals damn near had this though. They did. And you got Libra over here. So I don't know if you thought you were Libra, messing with a Libra, no Libra. It's Aries over here necessarily though. So that's why I said, damn, all the Cardinal signs down there ain't dang man. No, everything is reversed. Well, it depends on some had a reverse and one spread necessarily. Anywho, though, but like I said, this is you and your independent type energy, though. Three of Cups, Three of Swords, Hangman, though. This could be like a group of individuals or necessarily people, though, that cause chaos and drama because you got three of Cups versus the Three of Pentacles. I mean, you got Three of Cups versus the Three of Swords. So this heartbreak, betrayal, bitterment, lies, all these different types of things, discontentment and pain. Somebody's okay with this, though, like necessarily, though. Or some of y'all could be working through healing this aspect, don't necessarily like letting go of certain things because you do got the Eight of Swords, so like Eight of Swords, like being caught in something, being the victim of it's like somebody was a victim of you or you were a victim of somebody else. It could be pain, heartbreak. No, I said it is though. Somebody was a victim of you, somebody was a victim of someone else. Because you got the Page of Wands, the Wheel of Fortune reverse, and the Ace of Cups. And this is where the apology necessary. When I was talking about somebody's coming in to you, or you expecting that necessarily, or giving it to somebody else. Because the Ace of Cups is the offering. You got the King of Cups and the Ten of Cups. This could be acceptance though when it comes to family. Ideally though, ideally though, it could be with family though. I'm sorry. Because you got Three of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, and the Temperance. Temperance, patience. Three of Pentacles, learning, Seven of Wands, boundaries. For some of y'all, necessarily, I want to say, if it's a relationship with necessary people, like I said, with the earth sign energy, sometimes wanting to care or necessarily care, sometimes it can take it going too far. So it closes out certain people in certain situations that connect with them. Ideally, though. Let me cut that down. So I went through my background. Yeah, that's what it is, though. Closing out someone or pushing someone out. Like it is because of lack of patience, though necessarily. I say that though, like so be mindful necessarily in the season to where like you think your way is the right way, being so caught up in a folly type nature and not knowing how to coexist or work with others to where you isolate people and not necessarily put them in a position of acceptance. For some of y'all, I want to say somebody was a victim of you or you were a victim of somebody else necessarily. When I say heartbreak, lies, discontentment, pain, necessarily unhurt, unfair, unharsh treatment, somebody was a victim of this or you was a victim of this necessarily, and that's what you hear me say, like, that's coming about, though. Ooh, ooh, wee. Page of Swords, Ten of Swords, and the Capricorn type energy. Ooh, wee. I told y'all that monkey in the middle there is bullshit. I don't like this shit. This shit is middling. Page of Swords, Ten of Swords, and the Capricorn type energy. That's why I say either you was a victim of somebody else or somebody was a victim of you. I'm going to keep saying that though. Page of Swords and the Ten of Swords though. This is communicating matters and needing to defend self. For some of y'all coming to an end necessarily because some of y'all may be dealing with some egregious type acts, especially with this devil type energy. That is like the past versus the present. That is like being tethered to the old you, like letting certain things keep you down, the old ball and chain like that there. Being tethered to certain things and not letting certain things go in the mind, exterior, or toughness. Ten of Wands reverse. Y'all did get the Magician though. I was gonna say that something about type health. I say this though, Taurus is in their energy. Like y'all can be the top tier suffering from heart, upper area, heart to what's this right here though? I'm rubbing below my stomach. Is that the solar plex or the sacral? I want to say before you get to the sacral, heart to that necessarily be dealing with blockages though. Boom, throat all the way down. Like y'all can deal with blockages though, like necessarily to where it can be like back problems, upper respiratory problems, um uterine type problems, necessarily throat, because being resentful, hateful, necessarily all those different types of things, those negativity holding on to that could brood into the body necessarily. And a lot of people don't know that. Talk about that though. But some of y'all want to say, if I was using my watch, I don't know why I want to tell y'all drink some water. I don't know why the fuck I want to say that out loud. Some of y'all probably need to drink water because I'm telling y'all, as soon as I got to y'all, I just started feeling like I was dehydrated. And I ain't feel like that necessarily before all the readings. King of Swords, reverse. Some of y'all too though, like I said, some of y'all move too much. Y'all cut people out to like too fast. For the fool I knew was gonna be folly though. Some of y'all necessarily though, y'all move too rash though. But for some of y'all trying to let go of certain things, certain intimates that hold you back necessarily though. I think for some of y'all, this gives me like growth and evolution though. Six of Wands and the Seven of Pentacles though. Some of y'all, I'm telling you, it's just weird though. Like y'all holding something back or holding something up, or necessarily somebody's holding you up from becoming the person that you need to be. Six of Pentacles, Seven of Pentacles. Some of y'all holding or blocking somebody necessarily though. It is though that is. So you letting some emotional reasons hold you back though. Let's see about cups for you as well. If you try to get a relationship though, for some of y'all, if you're trying to get in a relationship or be in a connection with a relationship, though, ideally, some of y'all are letting your own lover hold you back. Or that's where the self-sabotage traits coming in, though, necessarily. It's kind of like a lack of trust that is given to a person, necessarily, though. This is where this overly controlling aspect of being irrational, like all these different types of things, though, some of y'all too far caught up in the past. Because you got Seven of Cups, though. Some of y'all don't necessarily see that that's a problem, though. Here we go. Four of Pentacles, Eight of Wands, Eight of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. For some of y'all, it's the idea of money, finances, though, because I told you this Tarian type energy, getting caught up on finances necessarily. I told you when I see this card, the Four of Pentacles, this is big Taurus energy. I said this is the mind, heart. What is that? Crown, heart, sacral, and root. That's a lot of y'all to be holding on to certain people, old lovers, energetically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, needing to heal, to clean, to move on, to take conversations, to step into a new you, though, letting go, transferring conversations, the world, like seeing things from a different perspective, not in your viewpoint of view. You got the moon, though, necessarily, though. Four of Wands. Some of y'all fear the idea of because you have trust issues, Page of Cups. And the ones though, and I think that cause conflicts though. Some of y'all have majorly trust issues though, necessarily though, and that causes problems. Ten of Pentacles, even with finances or work dynamics. Some of y'all have major trust issues though, and that holds back a lot of stuff. With the King of Wands, he ain't afraid to show it. He or she is not afraid to show it, because you got the Nine of Cups and the Ace of Swords in this season. I guess if you're going into a new relationship, some of y'all are forced or being called. I ain't gonna say forced to learn how to speak and to communicate that necessarily though. Not being in a tyrannical type state. Damn, I feel like we'd have been here fulfilled. You got Nine of Wands in the Hierophant energy. I like that though. Defending your truth and understanding necessarily. Learning how to take up for what really matters. Hierophant. Seven of Swords. Mm. Mm-mm. Yeah, this is a tough lesson y'all gonna have to learn, baby. Sometimes I want to skip y'all in the nose or the really do. I really do. So some of the rest of them may resonate necessarily with you going through, because I know there's gonna be all times necessary. Sometimes I want to skip y'all. I ain't even gonna lie, because I don't even know if it's the people who you interact with necessarily, or just the idea of doing the same thing over and over and over again necessarily, and not even caring about the consequences, whatever the case may be, of being so emotionally caught up in your own ways. All right. Because it's like each spread necessarily though that we getting more and more through, it just gives me more an, an in-depth reading of necessarily why a person does what they does. Overall though, like I said, it's communication, understanding. Some of y'all have to learn until you step into teachership type skills. It could be secrets or necessarily understanding though, or what you say, because you got the Knight of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles, though. This is immaturity type aspects, so especially conversations. Knight of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles, though, I feel that's like where nobody feels like they belong necessarily, though. And you got the Four of Cups and the Five of Cups. That's why I said it's like either somebody was offended by you or you offended somebody else or you've been a victim of something else. And it's kind of like the Four of Cups. I told you that's the energy of you can dish it but necessarily can't take it. So a lot of y'all got to learn this behavior, like being so stubborn or necessarily grounded into you or thinking that way. That's why I said don't transfer into earth energy, carrying over the same thing, going in earth into more earth energy to where you expect these grandiose changes necessarily and you don't get them. Because Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands, some of y'all know that you are blocking it's self growth chances to be able to go into move into new things because you got Four of Swords and the Eight of Pentacles. Some of y'all know y'all been working hard at certain things and a newness and y'all been cutting y'all self off or doing this to somebody purposely only to get back met with divine. So that's why I said some of y'all doing this though. Some of y'all going through this though. Some of y'all emotional aspects or lack of emotional growth necessary is blocking good things coming in because you got Ace of Pentacles and the Ace of Wands. It was the Ace of Cups though. I said love was trying to come in, empathy, understanding, support, and friendships. But all the other aces was reversed. No, the Ace of Swords was up right though. Communication and honesty, but the Ace of Pentacles, building, work, and doing. That's blocked. So that's why I said I think some of y'all know y'all block out certain shit. My ear burning necessarily though. I'm sorry though if y'all see this though. Y'all feel like I'm talking shit about you. This could be somebody that you know though, that you've been trying to work with. And they just do this shit and you just like, ugh, what the fuck? You just be like, here we go with this shit. Like, dead ass. Because you got Chariot though. Though I said reverse. It's slow moving though. It's willpower and strength, not having that willpower and strength. And I say you got Queen of Cups, strength, and the Five of Wands though. This is conflicts. This is arguments necessarily though. That's why I said one of y'all, when y'all see somebody or going through certain situations or have a partner or a spouse or trying to redirect or correct them, you just go, ugh, like somebody's doing this with you or somebody's doing this with somebody else though. Because it's like this competitiveness. It could be children, conflicts, siblings, friends, family, arguments. Because this is competitiveness. So it's kind of like, oof, that ass though. Because you got Queen of Wands, the Hermit, Two of Cups, and the King of Cups. So I said, please, it's very risque going into Virgo season necessarily with the same type antics though. Though I see you got the King of Pentacles being reversed, so it's still like you're being rooted to learn necessarily what is that you need to give attention to, time to, what grows, what necessarily like I don't know, like necessarily what it does. Like what could you do? What could you do necessarily to change? That was partnerships, commitments, ideals though. But you got Queen of Wands, King of Cups, pairing up. Virgo energy, Hermit, King of Pentacles. Yeah, that's why I said some of y'all, this is a lesson y'all gotta learn going into. Some of y'all think if y'all been so self-fulfilled rolling into Virgo season, some of y'all gonna learn some hard lessons real quick though. King of Pentacles, they ain't sticking around for nothing. This is what some of y'all gonna learn though. Some of y'all gonna learn this real quick. That ass though. Plus earth energy being met by earth energy. Tauruses can be necessarily stubborn, wanting things their way, fixated. So it's the idea of what you want or what you desire at the time of wanting this. Virgos have a servitude attitude necessarily. So going into that, so being committed in a partner style of relationship. So if you are dating or talking or wanting to be with somebody and they telling you, oh, you should do this, they got a rude awakening because it's kind of like, no. Like you'll do it for the time being, but it's not going to stick. I will say that though, so that's why I said going into this season, some of y'all gonna be like, no. All right, so let's do a clarifier. Let's hurry up and get up out of here. This is my last one. This is my last one for the day. Necessary though. Drink y'all some water. Drink y'all some water. Carbohydrates. Put the cup down. Stop drinking. Drink your Gatorade. Get your electrolytes up, baby. That ass though, I'm telling you, because I ain't started reading y'all. Get rid of reading I did. As soon as I got to y'all, I was like, damn, my throat dry. You ain't smoking no weed. I'm telling you. Alright, okay. Take it. Don't let your pride get in the way. Full moon and Leo. Five of Cups, Seven of Swords, and the King of Wands. Don't be in the shit. Don't be in this self-sabotaging type energy. Don't. Just being stubborn and wanting things to be your way. When King of Pentacles comes out, that sometimes means you gotta learn how to give a little bit more. Whether that's love, whether it's time, whether it's patience, whether it's honesty, whether that's commitment. Don't be so focused on in that space of where you say you want something and you necessarily don't. Well, I want change. You don't want it. Because the King of Pentacles is upright, so it's like, I don't want this shit. So it's stubborn in its way. It can be set in its routine. So necessary communicate and be honest. Um, very close to achieving a dream. I said that though. You got the world, Pisces, the moon, Hierophant. Slowly coming out of that space of where you hear me say, coming out of a space though, it's there necessarily, but it's like I said, make sure that you are in make sure you're learning necessarily or paying attention to necessarily the lessons though. Some of y'all can't see that certain things are happening for you necessarily though, because you're blinded by a sense of fears. Necessary. So I said, don't be. Don't be. It's blocking a lot of shit. I told y'all emotional. I think I said this with Cancer though. So if this reading don't resonate, go read Cancers. Like, that'll resonate with y'all a lot. Adjustments are required. Hermit, Five of Swords, Two of Swords. Yes. I told y'all the world energy necessarily being a fixed sign and being fixated on certain things. Some of y'all, damn, I'm trying to hold my arm right. Some of y'all got to learn how to be able to give, know what to give, when to give. Like you hear me say, the King of Pentacles energy, knowing what it is that you're willing to learn. Take the wisdom from the mistakes of certain things. What doesn't work out, don't sit there and be in a self-sabotaging type mode for certain things that don't work and figure out what you need. Adjustments are required, even as for you, your mental health, your sanity, whatever it is. Adjustments. Everything is not about y'all. I just want to say that though, and I'm not saying it though necessarily, but you may be saying this to somebody else though, because you got to be bold and make the first move necessarily though. So I said, even going through the apology aspects, if you want one, give one to somebody necessarily that you offended to be able to receive one. Some of y'all be wanting in that Tarian type energy where you sit there and you be stubborn. Like I said, some of y'all is teaching y'all what is fair, what is right, even if you see certain things that's unjust, and speak on it necessarily. Speak on it from a non-biased type space, release the grudges, release from being so caught up in your routine, and it's not necessarily grudges or just being fixated, stuck to the idea of earth, taking on air sign or whichever one of energy that you decide to use necessary, hopefully not earth from a cardinal sign necessarily though, and being able to push forward though. That's why I said be able to make the first move. All right, nothing will come of the situation. Bam. What we got? Page of Swords, Six of Swords, and the Ace of Voices. I like this though, because like I said, this is being honest and communicative though. Staying stagnant in one place and necessarily going backwards and then going forwards, waiting on that forgiveness or waiting on an apology or waiting on that said go to be able to do something. No. You are the ruler of your own life. That ass. So making that decision though and stick to it though. Stop going backwards. You didn't want to go forward. You didn't get mad and say, oh, I'm so tired because this is not working. Because that's what the world does when it goes slow. It's like, oh my God, everything is going so slow. Why it's not happening? And it's like, your ass keep taking breaks. But if somebody was to say that though, the King of Wands would be in the energy of peace. Okay? Take time to breathe. That's why I said that. Take time to breathe because you got Two of Cups, Ace of Cups, and the Seven of Cups. Some of y'all just could be jumping from one relationship to the next or trying to move on necessarily or business and partnerships. Self-reflecting is key. Being honest, sit back and watch. Some of y'all be trying to take people with you or understand certain relationships, family, cousins, and sister, baby, all dad, all this other stuff. And sometimes that take time to self-reflect that you just can't necessarily get what it is that you want. Everything happens in time. It does though. Everything happens in a time. Sometimes it's self-reflecting on your own actions and certain things that you need to leave you in a position that put you in a Two of Cups energy where you feel isolated or necessarily not committed or accepted in that sense of energy. Okay? So that's why I said some of y'all just need to process. And it's kind of like y'all in this space of, well, I'm going to do it, yep, because I'm me. Woo, 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 woo. And then get mad when that don't work no more, or the universe is like, okay, well, I'm gonna give you a date. I'm gonna give you a dose of your own medicine. And this could be a personal relationship necessarily though. or a family member or a friend or somebody you know. And then you like, here we go again. Like, you get what I'm saying? So somebody could be saying that with you. You could be saying to somebody, you like, here we go again. Bitch. All right. Where'd my book go? Okay, here we go. I'm gonna make sure I get up early tomorrow. What is it? A new moon? New moon 24. We're gonna go to 24 and then I'm wrapping up for the day, y'all. And then I'm gonna get up early tomorrow so I can knock everybody's ass out. I might just do one on my phone though, necessarily. I don't know. May go sit outside. Okay, anyway. Damn, I forgot. A new start is coming. There's a yes coming your way. This is one of the most auspicious cards in the deck. It's totally positive and suggests something new and exciting is developing. The situation you asked about is blessed and you're on target to achieve your goals. The message from the universe is that you're starting all over again in some way. Be that on a new or a better course or just feeling more positive about achieving your desired outcome. If you've been feeling stagnant, this card is a reminder that life goes in cycles and you're moving into a new cycle now. This is a time to wipe the slate clean. This is a time, if the situation you were asked about has become toxic, either that will clear up now or something new and fresh is on the way. I see it when I believe it is the motto. A new start is on our way. You will soon start to feel more hopeful about getting what you want. Your belief that your dreams can manifest is working well. Forget about the past. The new moon marks the start of the waxing cycle and the midpoint of the dark moon. It's a dark and veiled time when the moon is invisible and a time of rebirth. It's a time that witches do their work and make wishes and lay down intention for the new cycle. An intensely magical time when it's easier to pierce the veil to other worlds. Bam! Didn't I just say that though? I just said that though. Some of y'all letting y'all emotions hold y'all back. Dead ass. So I don't know if it's a person or a friend or somebody else. You telling them it's kind of like them emotions or necessarily it's holding them back to be able to move into a new start. So I don't know if it's just the uncertainty though. But some of y'all, like I said, you get into a relationship and it's challenging you not to be the same way that necessarily somebody hurt y'all. It's forcing you to open up your mind to deal with new perspectives of life. For some of y'all, necessarily y'all being in that earth energy to where y'all giving that hypercritical ass advice and just blocking somebody or something. Some situation just has went or some has necessarily just served its purpose for the time being. I will say that though. So other than that though, we're gonna clock out in 43 minutes. Some of y'all can leave though. Uh Whatever the case may be. So we got all long damn. What the fuck I'm gonna name this video though? We're gonna name this a new start. It's on the way. But yeah, but some of y'all be forgetting though that a new start necessarily what is it? Some of y'all be forgetting that necessarily when it comes to like a new start, when I say a new start is on my bad. Ooh, you're right. Like I'm slow sometimes. Some of y'all be forgetting that necessarily when it comes to a new start, y'all be thinking it is always supposed to feel like a breeze and that's not always it. Sometimes it's releasing, letting go, moving of the way of toxic and necessarily. I know the reading may seem like it's hyperly negative, but it's really not. There's just certain things that needs to be removed so other readings can transition. So if you would like, you can check out different ones necessarily though that may resonate necessarily with you. And you don't have to be in the mind frame of because some of y'all just ain't you. This could be like a family member, cousin, a friend, or somebody that you necessarily hang with. And yeah, so that's why I said just go check out other ones or whatever the case may be, and you'll be alright though. So on that note, we're gonna clock out at 40 minutes.